Any doubts from yesterday's session? Okay, we will start off with the architecture, little introduction to that, and after that we will do the installation. Okay, so architecture, we know that it is a distributed architecture where the data can be fit not only in a single node, it can be spread across to multiple servers. Okay, multiple servers, in we can say it. Actually, these are the terminologies when we keep using it when we are talking about Cassandra. Okay, cluster, data center, racks, servers, and the nodes. Okay, so data center is like a multiple racks. Data center, you can think of it as a room which containing of many racks. Okay, so when I can say this, you can Google through that also, like a data center, how it looks like. So this, if you consider it as a rack, it can have a multiple nodes. Nodes, when I say it is the or a computer machine or any commodity hardware which is storing your data, storage space, okay, which contains the hard disk to store your data, and that can be kept in a rack. Okay, a rack can have this can be one rack, and this can be other rack, so the rack can have a multiple nodes in that. Okay, multiple racks like this contain, say, keep adding multiple racks with the multiple nodes, then it will form a data center. Okay, this together can be kept into a data or into a room, or that we can call it as a data center in Apache terminologies. And servers, we say that the complete server, the nodes which we are keeping it for the storage unit as the servers itself. Okay, so for that, where is it? Okay, so cluster is nothing but multiple nodes together forming it. It's a cluster. Okay, that I told you yesterday itself. Like you can think like Cassandra uh, combines together multiple nodes together, and it says that it is a cluster. Okay, in a cluster and a cluster two, likewise you can imagine, and they form a ring-like structure, and connected together. It's a peer-to-peer network, and in the racks, when you are storing a data in a data center, okay, data center can have multiple racks. So the data will be stored of a similar types. So they will say that I will tell you what is of similar types. Similar types in the sense, if it is of like video type of data or analytical type of data or graphical type data, those set of data set of one type will be stored in a particular data center. Okay, so that why they are stored in such a way is that it will be easy for them, for the users to get the retrieve the data, so the latency will be reduced. Latency is like to read a data from a data center. Okay, data center from a rack contains multiple data, multiple nodes, right? Nodes will data will be replicated in multiple nodes also. So to read a data from a particular rack or from a data center, to reduce the latency means the read time. Okay, that the time when a user is sending a request to read a data, and the time the data is retrieved from the data center or from the rack and given back to the user is the latency. So read request, and result back. Okay, result retrieved, that we call it is from the user. This we call it as a latency time, the time taken. Okay, that will be reduced if the similar data are centered in a single data center. Okay, so we'll just go through this, and after that we will do the installation. So and each node has the same functionality as the other node. There is a no single point of a failure, that we have already seen it. There is a no master node at all. So about the definition of all these things, little definition I have in this, like a data center is nothing but a group of nodes or related configured into a cluster, within a cluster for replication purposes. Okay, so the replication factor will be set up to write to multiple data centers, providing the additional flexibility in the architectural design. See, the replication factor is a nothing but to how many nodes within the data center or within the rack you wanted to replicate, number of nodes you wanted to replicate, that you can provide it. Okay, within the data center, normally it will not goes from data center to data center. It means you can think of a room with full of racks. Okay, you can google through this, like how the data center and all will be there. And so the replication shall be done within the data center itself, so that retrieval of data will be easier. And uh, and um, yes, latency will also be reduced. Okay, and one other thing is the replication the replication can happen in a single rack itself. Okay, or it will be concentrated to replicate in other racks too. Say for example, I am going to store any employee information, and I say that replicate, create a database. Okay, create a database, and this database I wanted to replicate between say two times or three times I wanted to replicate. How do they replicate? Is they try to replicate, the algorithm works the replication in such a way that it takes two racks or other racks. Why it is happening like that? If even if one rack goes down, if it is not available, the data shall be retrieved from the other racks. Okay, so this kind of internal logic and all is applicable now, and shall be present in the single data center itself. Okay, so this is to avoid the latency, because if you go to other data center geographically distributed, then latency may increase, right? And about the racks, it is nothing but the group of servers or the nodes you can call interchangeably. Okay, the architecture of Cassandra uses a rack so that the replica is stored redundantly inside the single rack, ensuring that replicas are spread around through the different racks in case of a rack goes down. That is whatever I have explained this till now, they have given it here. Okay, multiple racks with this you can go through. This is just a theory part. I've explained it. And okay, so how does this understand, the Cassandra understands about its a topology in the sense how the rack is a distribute, how the racks are configured, and how many nodes are there in the racks, how they are interconnected with other racks, and all this information are understood by the technology which is a snitch. Okay, snitch is nothing but how the nodes in the cluster know about the topology of the nodes in the cluster. Okay, there will not be any master node. So to determine where data goes into the rack or set the racks, Apache Cassandra uses the what is referred to as a snitch. Okay, there are types of snitching. Snitch is nothing but the topology where the data is present, and how the topology of the clusters. Okay, topology of your distributed architecture. Okay, if you have to set up the Apache Cassandra data center, then how it is arranged in the rack or on the nodes, all those things that you can get it through the snitch. Okay, there are different types of a snitch. If you can see, like a dynamic snitch, rack inferring snitch, each has its own properties. Property file snitch. Okay, these are all configured in a configuration files. Okay, you can configure each type of snitch based on the usage. Some commonly used snitched a snitch example I am giving it here. Okay, like a simple snitch, this niche treats based on the priority proximity. Okay, proximity is where it is stored, the range, where the data is stored. This is primarily only used when in a single data center deployment. Single data center deployment means, say now we are going to install Cassandra. Okay, install Cassandra in a local host. Local host means in your machine only. Okay, the IP for the local host is 127.0.0.1. So Cassandra, I'm going to install in a single node. Single node means in your Ubuntu machine itself. Okay, and it is not going for a So that since it is a single node, that itself I can talk call it as a single data center, okay, not a distributed way. And so if that is the case, like if you are talking only about a single data center, that data center can have multiple nodes, okay, not only this one. It is also possible that you can have see right now you are provided with only one machine, I think, for one Ubuntu machine, right? Ubuntu Linux terminal for working on with Hadoop and all, you will have a master and a slave. One master and two slaves will be given. So that is how distributedly you can configure it, okay. But now since we are going to use a single node, so it is going to be a single snitch, okay. Single snitch is saying that where your data is present in a uh, one node or one data center, okay. And dynamic snitching is the snitch monitors the read latency to avoid reading from host that has slow down. So when it comes to distributed architecture, that if your data is distributed between many number of nodes in the cluster, then you can go for the dynamic switching. And rack inferring switching is based on the rack type, okay. That will be identified by the IP addresses. In detail we will see about this later on, okay, when we go to the administrative part of the Cassandra. But now you can understand how this, because there is no master node, right? If a master node is there, then the about the topology you can understand, no, like how the data center is architecture is set up, okay. The setup, the nodes, how it is set up, how they are interconnected with other nodes, how they are communicate not how they are communicating, interconnected, and what are the nodes which are present in your data center. All this information will be given, will be done using the snitch, okay. Snitch what we can say, snitch properties, okay. By setting the properties of a configuration file, you will understand, the user who is using the Cassandra will understand that, okay. When I say simple snitch, in the configuration file after installation you will see, if it is a simple snitch, it means it is only single data center and all your nodes are configured there. If it is a dynamic snitching, then you will understand, if it is configured, there are multiple nodes are present, that can be changed also. The configuration file parameter can also be changed, saying that I wanted to distribute my nodes in multiple data centers, okay. Latency about read and write, we will see it later on, okay. And furthermore, so these other types of snitches, okay. Simple snitch is the default one, so if you wanted to change it, you can change it accordingly, okay. Each one will do a specific will refer to a specific thing, okay. Property file snitch, it will be like how what it will do is, it will have the IP addresses, okay. Along with it will say where the data is present in your data center, okay. How many replicas it is there, like a data center one, you can name the data centers, okay. Like data center one, like where your data is present in node 1, likewise it will have IP information and all those things. We'll see this in detail later on, but now for the architecture understanding, okay. And furthermore, so since it is not having any master at all, then how do the nodes communicate with each other? If master is there, master will be configured for communicating with each nodes. Master will get the status of the each node, whether it is alive or dead, and also get have the details of where your data is present, okay. All this information, if a master slave architecture is there, master will know it. But since Cassandra doesn't have a master, each node works on its own, then how do they communicate with each other? Okay, that is using the gossiping, okay. Every 1 second every node communicates with the other node. So these kind of questions shall be asked in your exams, okay. Like what is the technology, what how do nodes communicate with each other in the MCQs questions, okay. Communicate with each other in Cassandra, then how much in what time they will send the communicate with each other, okay. In if you see Hadoop and all, it will take an hour, 1 hour, okay. There will be some update happening in 1 hour, but in Cassandra it is 1 second. Every 1 second each node whichever is connected in the cluster will send its status to the other node. Okay, and gossip, it is an internal communication between the nodes. Okay, if you think about nodes, each communicating within, that is using the gossip. And snitch is the technology that says that how your node is, topology of the nodes, whether it is in the single data center or whether it is distributed across a data centers, and how data is present. Okay, that is a snitch. Okay, gossip is an internal communication tool you can think of. Okay, this we will skip. Till now, any doubts? I'm just trying to talk about the terminologies we may use it in the Cassandra database, which forms the architecture. Any doubts till now? Okay, shall I move on?
Yes, madam.
Okay, fine. Okay. Okay, this I'll skip. So this is about the terminologies about a cluster. We know the collection of nodes from a cluster in a ring type connected through a ring. Peer-to-peer network is the cluster. Homogeneous environment, as I told, in a data center, they try to store a similar type of a data. Okay, like if it is some examples, like if it is video type of a data which is for analysis, that they will set keep it in a similar data, single data center. Okay, so that if it is so widely distributed also, it will take time for read and writes right into the databases. That should be avoided. That is the reason it is like that. And a node, I told, where your data is actually stored. And the replication factor, replication is, this is a replication uh, during the creation of the database. Okay, so whenever you have a database, first you need to create a database, right? During the creation of the database, okay, you can specify how you want your data to be replicated. Okay, this is the replication factor. In other cases like Hadoop and all, that is taken care by the architecture itself, by the framework itself. But in Cassandra, you will specify like how many times your data has to be replicated, or in which data center it has to go and sit. All those information you can give it using the replication factor parameter that we will give while we are creating the database. Okay, and the consistency, it is same terminology, like the data which is newest will be in the all the replicated data. Okay, any updated data is to be written in any node. If then that node data is replicated in other nodes, that will also have the newest data. Okay, newest data, or the, if it is removed also, it should be removed from all the replicated nodes too. Okay, so this is about replication must be specified when a database is a defined replication factor, and it defines how many instances of the data there will be within the given databases. Okay, so that we will do it while we are creating our database. If a node goes down, why do we do a replication? Obviously, when a node goes down, you need to take it from other nodes. So that is the complete idea of the distributed architecture itself. Okay, some more terminologies that shall be used in the Cassandra is the key space, table, partition, row, and column. Key space, see, in other databases we call it as a database. Okay, whereas in Cassandra you will create a key space. Both are same only, but here we don't say it as a this is in Cassandra database, but we say creation of the key space. In other MySQL or other database, you create database, and database name you will give. Okay, database and name, something you will give. But whereas in Cassandra you will create key space. Okay, instead of a database, it is a nothing but key space name you will give. Okay, which is nothing but a database. What is a database? Database is going to contain a collection of tables, right? Okay, it will contain a collection of tables. Similarly, Key space will contain a collection of a Cassandra tables, which looks like a column family oriented. Okay, and it defines how a data set why they say is replicated per data center. Replication is the number of copies and so okay, what is a data set? Anyone wants to say? When I say data set, data.
Data set is something like combinations of columns present in kind of table.
Yeah, data set, it is nothing but a input of data, right, sir? Collection of information is. See, data set is nothing but if you can think of like an Excel sheet with 10,000 records of information, okay, that you can call it as a data set itself. It is like a collection of information only, or a data. Okay, somebody has the doubt. Cassandra is a big data technology only, Venkana Babu. Yes, right. It is part of the big data technology only. So you are reading that HBase, no? Instead of HBase, you can put a Cassandra too. Okay, it is a database. Okay, to store your data. Collection of tables linked with the keys. Yes. Yes. Dataset is the one, the input source, which you are going to do any analysis or you are going to use it. That is the data set. Okay. Key space is nothing but the, while defining the key space, if it is other databases, like even in HBase is also a big data database only. Okay. There you will not define any replication factor on all, or even if you are doing in Hadoop. Okay. But in Cassandra, when you are defining the key space, that is why they are talking about replication here. You have to specify the how your data is to be replicated, how your data is going, sorry, how your database is going to be replicated. Okay, in which data center it will go, and all those things. And the table is nothing but the typed schema for a collection of a partition. Table contains the partition and which contains the row. Table simply in mere terms, table is nothing but the collection of information. Okay, and there the table will be in the Cassandra. Table will be divided or identified using the partitions. Okay, table will be partition means it will be divided. Okay, if I say like emp id and the name and some values and all is there. Okay, so each row shall be identified by the partition. We will create a partition key. Okay, that we call it as a primary key, not that we call, no, a primary key. Each row in a table shall be identified by a primary key. Okay, we can define a primary key. Primary key is nothing in like in other language, other databases. It is the key which uniquely identifies a row. Okay, whatever row we are adding it, it will uniquely identify the row. Okay, using this primary key, we can mention a partition key. Okay, the partition key means why we are using a partition key is like a similar partitioned key. Say for example, um, mm, okay, I can think of like say people who are present who are residing in Chennai. Okay, um, you retrieve the data. I mean, many people will be present in Chennai, right? So employee 1 will be in Chennai, employee 2 will be in Chennai, employee 3 will be in Chennai. Okay, so what it means is when I make this as a primary key, okay, this as the state, not state, city, sorry, city as a Chennai as a primary key, or if I consider this as a partition key, so similar type of a data, so you can mention that where it has to be stored in your uh, node. Okay, how you are based on the partition keys, then you can distribute your rows and store it in different nodes. Okay, that is why it is used, this partition key is used. Okay, so how the table are defined in Cassandra is like using the partitions. Okay, so we can also mention otherwise also you can create table and store the data, but ideally our intention, so the Cassandra, how it works is, you're going to store a large data set, large set of information. Okay, so you will partition that data set based on a partition key, and distribute among the nodes and store it. Okay, that we will see in detail when we are doing the demos. Okay, and the partition, it is a mandatory part of the primary key. All rows in Cassandra must identify the node in a cluster where the row is stored. This is what I told. Where the particular node is stored in the cluster, that you can identify using the partition key. How we will define a partition key, how you will identify it, that we will take it in the demo. Okay, and row, it is contains the collection of the columns identified by the unique primary key made up of the partition key. See, primary key can be interchangeably called as a partition key. Okay, there is also something like a compound keys comes into picture, which can be a primary key from which we can identify the partition key. Say, don't get confused. We will see it in the demo. Okay, row, you can think it is nothing but to uniquely identify any column values, complete column values. Okay, and column is a single datum. Datum. Anyone wants to say what is a datum?
And plural of data, ma'am.
Yes. It is a plural of data. So many number of many datas with a type which belongs to the row. So see, these are the terminologies which we keep using in the Cassandra, which is the key space, which is nothing but a data space database, which we will create using a replication factor for sure. And the table, you will create it table, how it is getting distributed in your nodes, in your cluster nodes, that shall be given by the partitions. Okay, so similar partition to be in a single node, all those things. And partition is the key which identifies or which tells where your data will be present. And row is nothing but a collection of the column values, and column is nothing but the together, um, it can have multiple values for the column too. Okay, is this fine features? What is one observation, Deepshika? Okay, okay, that is all. I think we will do installation now. This is about a little on the architecture. Okay, so what we will do, you can do the installation along with me. Okay, I will share the installation slide. Okay, this is not complete slide, but anyway, I can use this. So installation, you need the Java version. Okay, what are the prerequisites? Like you need the Java to be installed. Okay, if 1.7 also is fine. Cassandra works with 1.7, but Cassandra 2. The latest version of a Cassandra is 4. You can check it in. I will show it. Okay, where you can download it. And 1.8, anyway we have installed 1.8, right? Java 1.8, so that will be good. And I will update this slide. Okay, and Java home, you have already set it in your bash rc, that is environmental variable. And where you can download is from this Cassandra Apache page. They have the latest release 4.0, but we will take a stable one because it is a open source and many uh, uh, development shall be going on. Okay, may not be that is a stable, so we will take a one version earlier. Okay, these are the steps. I'll show the steps. You have there will be, you can download it in a different ways. Okay, now I'm going to download and install in using a tarball. It will have a tarball, and that I'm going to install in our Ubuntu Linux setup. Okay, we will create a directory and we'll untar it. Here this you cannot say it is a installation, it is merely the configuration only. Just you have to untar it, and if any configuration change is needed, that you change it and use it directly. Okay, and you have to create a two folders in this, which is nothing but the library and the log folder. Okay, log folder where log Cassandra. This will log your activities into this log folder, and the libraries, if any whatever we activity we are doing it, that it will be logged in the library. Okay, and there is a main configuration file. We will see that what it contains and about the start of the Cassandra. Okay, Cassandra starting, and this is SQL where you can write your comments. That is like your user interface. That also we will start it. Okay, I'll go to the VTE lab. If you have mission, you can do it along with me. My screen is not shared. I think yes. Okay, what we will do is first we will download it. Okay, before that we can check if our Java is present in that because it uses Java. I will open a terminal. New window. What do
Ma'am, we are
you?
using through the virtual lab, ma'am.
Yes, I am using the
Okay.
virtual lab. Virtual lab will have it installed by now. No, you have to install it. We cannot install it, and how you learn in every installation. You should know, right?
Okay.
No, no, not to you actually. I'm talking about somebody who Deepshika. Okay, so Deepshika was asking virtual lab will have it installed by Nilet Chennai. Virtual lab you will have it inside that all the application you have to install Deepshika. Okay. Okay, so here we will check our Java version, Java hyphen version. So I have it got it installed already. It is there. Okay, then we will check our bash rc file whether environment variable is set. Okay, bash rc va bash rc. It will already have it. Java configuration. Okay, Java home path. Okay, this you would have already set it. Okay, otherwise you can set it now and source it. Okay, after setting it, then we will go to your Firefox and download the Apache Cassandra. Simply search Apache Cassandra download.
Madam,
Yes.
like Eclipse, uh, can Cassandra can also be used in Windows? Like we can use Eclipse in Windows, so like this, it is used in Windows also, or we just run it with Linux also.
See, you can have. See, first you have to understand the Eclipse is an IDE. Okay, that is not a database or anything. It is an interface to
Mhm.
write your Java programs. Okay, but Cassandra is a database. This database can be installed in Windows too. Okay, and
Mhm.
SQL is the interface where you talk with the Cassandra. Okay, that also you can download and install in Windows, but the course idea is only to work on with Ubuntu. So that installation you can go through, I mean, Google through that and find out how you can install Cassandra in Windows and install it and use it. Okay, but here I will do it with Linux only. Okay. Okay, download.
Okay.
Yes. Download Apache Cassandra you give, then this site will come, Apache Cassandra Apache downloads. You can click on this. Do it in this one. Maybe for your learning purpose, you can install in Windows and see, but install now as a part of code with your Ubuntu only, because we are going to practice with Ubuntu. Okay, not with the other versions. Okay, this one, this is 4.2. This is not 3.11. This is 4.2, right? Maintained until two. Okay, this previous stable version, which is a 3.11 only, you download this one. Don't use the latest GA. Okay, sometimes it may not be stable. This one is the stable one. You can click on this. It will go to another page. In that, HTTP is there, no? And that there is a link, a tarball link, tar.gz link. Click on this, it will download automatically. Okay, I have already downloaded, so you people can download it now. It will take less time only. Is anyone doing along with me? Then I can wait.
Madam, which version should I choose, ma'am? I
Uh,
just missed.
okay, I will. Here it is. The version is 3.1.14. Previous stable release is there. No, choose that one.
I'm also trying along with you, madam, but
Okay.
website is not opening.
It will open, sir. It is just a normal website, you know. Download Apache Cassandra if you give this cassandra.apache.org will come.
Cassandra.apache.org.
The first site
Yeah,
itself is.
yeah, right. I'm in the same link, but what I'm getting is that secure connection failed.
You are trying with the VTE Labs, sir.
No, no, no. I'm trying in
Your
my
machine.
personal laptop.
And what is the error? Secured?
Secure connection failed.
Is the internet is fine, no?
Yes, yes, yes.
And you're trying
I'm
to
in the same.
download it from the Firefox of Ubuntu.
Yeah, correct.
Google is opening now, sir. Then it should
Okay,
do
let
good.
me check.
Yeah.
Yeah, Google is opening.
In Fire.
Basically, I searched this link in the Google only.
Okay.
Cassandra Apache download. I got the correct URL, cassandra.apache.org slash something like underscore slash
Yes, yes, yes,
download.html.
yes. That's right.
The error code it says like sec error OCSP future underscore response.
So can you share your screen?
Sure. Hope you are seeing my screen.
Yes. Try some others.
It has loaded. I don't know what was the problem. Now it is loaded. Thank you, madam. I'm
Okay,
disconnecting.
okay, okay. It might be the internet connection problem only. Other than that, it.
Okay, got you.
Okay. Okay. After that, once it is downloaded, it will be in your downloads. Okay. If click on this, then you will have that HTTP. This page. This page will come in this HTTP tar.gz tarball. Fine. Click on that, it will download. Okay, and then you go to the terminal. It will be in your downloads directory. So we will traverse to our downloads directory, ls-lrt. So it will have that ls, that version it would have downloaded. Okay, mine is so many. So here it is there, Apache Cassandra 31113. Okay, bin.tar.gz file. So this we have to untar it. Okay, so tar -x is at vf. Okay, this option, you know that this is extraction, x is extraction, is it is that file. Okay, it is a gz file. Up type of the file it mentions. V is verbose. Verbose means it in the terminal here it will list out where what are the things it is untarring, and the file name. F is file name we are going to give. The file name is where is my mouse? Apache Cassandra. Okay, tar.gz. GZ. I have already untarred it, so I'm not untarring it. That's why I'm giving comment. You people can untar now. Okay. After untarring, you will have this directory. The directory is this one, Apache, not Hive, Apache Cassandra 3.1.13 will be there. Yes, Pratibha. Please post the command here. Okay, tar-x is at vf, and the file name Apache .tar.gz. You give the proper file name. Okay, I could not type all, so I have given.
Ex-
You are having it in as bin, right? Bin
Ma'am,
dot tar.gz. Yes.
ma'am, can I download the from the VT portals this program, ma'am?
Yes.
Terminal, ma'am?
VT you have logged in, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Then you open your Firefox there.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. In
Then
the
from
quick
there you
control.
can download. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. I'm doing that. Thank you.
Okay. Then you will have this directory, Apache Cassandra 3.11.13. Okay. What we will do is this whole directory you can go in and check what are the contents it has. Okay, cd Apache Cassandra. This is the directory. You can go into that and see what are the contents it has. It has configuration file, bin directory, interface, libraries, and tools. Okay, libraries and all. But what we will do, we will create a different directory name. Okay, in home directory, I go to home, Nilite. Okay, I will make a directory. See, I'm in present working directory home Nilite. Okay, I'll make a directory Cassandra. This is for readability purpose only. Okay, we make a directory Cassandra. Okay, you all make this directory in your home Nilite. Okay, once this is made, you can copy all the contents inside this 3.1.13 directory to Cassandra. So what we will do, move also you can do, but I just to copy it. Okay, copy home, Nilet, Apache. Okay, it is in downloads, Apache, Cassandra. Okay, slash star whole thing. Okay, it has directories also, no folders also, so I'm giving recursively copy it into home, Nilet, Cassandra. Okay, dot you can give for the present working directory. So till now is it fine? This is how you will copy it. No need to set the path, Venkana Babu. It will take automatically. Okay, I will show you. Okay, it will understand where the Cassandra is present. Okay, otherwise, okay, actually, what I'm going to do is I will run it like bin slash Cassandra likewise. Okay, that is the reason I don't have to set the path. Otherwise, I can set it and show. Also, we can set it and see. But I will tell you whether you have to set it or not. Now I'm not setting it. I will directly run from the binary directory. Okay, binary Cassandra. Okay, till now it is done. Rohan, Deepshika, Pratibha, Vinod sir.
Ma'am, it
Yeah,
will
yes,
take a
Kanna.
bit time for me, ma'am. Please continue, ma'am.
Okay, I will continue then. Okay, so I will put a hash in this. I already have this folder here, CD Cassandra. Same thing, it will get copied. So if I see it has all this binary interface, doc, conf, and all those things. So if we go to the conf, okay, this is having the configuration file. The main file in main Cassandra configuration file is that nothing but the YAML file. Okay, that is the file which contains the information about the snitch, all these informations. Okay, it also contains the information cluster name. Okay, this line if you see it, 1 minute. Okay, this is the cluster name. Cluster name is like cluster we know, right? The number of nodes together connected in a peer-to-peer network, we call it as a cluster. So each cluster, each cluster will have a name. Okay, if you see, this is one node. Whatever I'm trying to install here, this Ubuntu machine is one node. This is named defaultly like a test cluster. You can name it anything, whatever you wanted. Okay, if say for example, many nodes are connected to this node and which forms a cluster, then each of the node will have the same name. Okay, you say for example four nodes are connected together and then they form a cluster. How do they identify that they belong to a single cluster? Is using the cluster name. Okay, all the nodes will have the same cluster name. Okay, we'll talk about this token later. Okay, this is about the virtual nodes and all, like how you have to create a token. We'll talk about this token later. By default, it will be 256 tokens that we will talk in the next class. And what else is there? And there is something like a partitioner algorithm. Partition. You can search that partition. Okay, so here if you see it, there is a something like a partitioner. Okay, that partitioner, here I told no, like how the partitions are done of the data partitioning, how it is done, that is using an algorithm which is murmur 3 partitioner. Okay, that it is configured here. And about the data. Okay, there is a one other information about the data. Okay, where your data will be actually present in this node. Okay, that is where you have to, this one we have to create it. Okay, data file directory. If you store your data in this Cassandra database, it will be present in where lib Cassandra data. Okay, and and the logs where it goes is where lib Cassandra. No, not this one. That log file also we will create. This is about commit log that we'll see later. And about the snitch I wanted to show, it will say that snitch type SINTH. Okay, snitch endpoint it is talking about. Okay, where is that configuration? It also describes about each of the snitch type. Okay, by default, we have only installed, right? The endpoint snitch is nothing but the simple snitch. Okay, where your data is present in the single data center. That information, it is saying that what type of a data, what type of a node, I mean topology information you can get it. Okay, this is of a simple snitch type. So in this configuration file we can know the cluster name. We also give some tokens that is I'll say later on. Partitioner algorithm which is a murmur 3, and the data file where that your data will be present, that is present here. And about the snitch type, this is configurable. Okay, you can change it to dynamic snitch or property file snitch, rack inferring, all those things you can change. In detail we'll see it in the next class. Okay, this is about the configuration file. And that's all on this. Okay, we have to create the data file and the log file. Okay, and we also have to give permission to that. So from here I will make dir. Okay, two files like where lib Cassandra. Okay, so new file which is nothing but lib Cassandra file, I'm creating it. You can all create this. I've already done that. Okay, and similarly just check it if it is present. Okay, it is there where lib Cassandra I have already created. So you people also create it. And the next one is you have to also create a directory for log file. Okay, slash where slash log Cassandra file already exists. It is saying for me you can create it. Okay, these two you can create it. Okay, so I will echo the user. Okay, now we have to change its ownership. Okay, if you can see it in this one, ls hyphen slash where slash lib. Permission will not be changed, so it's better for safety purpose we will change it and keep. Okay, file is a 0, it is saying. I think this will have many. Cassandra will be there where lib is having many directories. Okay, we will change the permission only directly, no problem. So what we will do, uh, change ownership hyphen r. Okay, so user is a nailet. Here the user is a nailet. Okay, if you are confused with what is that, we will use this variable user and group. Fine, then where lib Cassandra. Okay, change the ownership of that. I have done this already. Then change the ownership of the log file too. Okay, it is wrong log file. Permission denied. I think you have to use a sudo permission. So try with sudo change owner, sudo make directory likewise. Okay, once this is done, is this done? I will just start this Cassandra and run it. Okay, once this is done, we will start the Cassandra database.
Madam, sorry for the interruption. What
Yes, sir.
dollar group will have it? I understand the dollar user will have a Nilet.
That will also be Nilet only group. You can echo and check it. It is not having anything. Then it is username and group. Okay, just a moment. I will check that. It is saying admin. It is zero where it is present. It is giving the size only where it is there. It is taking Nilet as a group itself. Group is also Nilet.
Okay.
Actually, I should have written like this. I think it will be more clear then. Let's cd this. Nilet. It is both Nilet only. It is in the group Nilet. That etc group file you can check it. Then you will be more clear where it is belonging to. After this make directory, what is the next step? Ma'am, sorry for the delay. No problem. Don't be sorry. Just do this one. Create a make directory of this one. These two folders. Okay, make directory of varlib Cassandra, and similarly make directory of log Cassandra, and then make the ownership. Sir, if you want to check where it belongs to, that then that you can check it in the etc groups file. There it will mention where the Nilet is, which Nilet it, which group it belongs to, the Nilet user. Okay. Okay, after making the directory, you have to change the permissions. Change the permission. Change the ownership. Okay, ownership it will have something. So change it to Nilet for both the directories. Nilet. Fine. Okay, for log 2 and for this one also. Hope this is clear.
Madam,
Yes.
those who are not using the virtual lab, they are also give the Nilet.
No, no, no. That's why you can echo it and check it that which is your user and which is your group. Okay. You echo dollar user, then you will know it. You will have your username differently by maybe by your name you would have given. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Give
Okay.
echo dollar user, then it will give that you can give. Otherwise, for in the safer side, you can use this parameter only. This is variable only. Okay. Dollar user dollar group name it will take automatically because it will have been set by default this variable.
Okay.
Hmm, okay.
Okay.
Okay, shall I move on? Now we go to the bin directory from where we can start our Cassandra. Bin will have your libraries, okay, like scripts to run your Cassandra batch file and all those things. See SQL, SH, and the Cassandra file. This one we will use it to start the Cassandra. Okay, how I will go? I am going to do that. Yes, I'll go here. ls-lrt. Okay, inside Cassandra, I mean inside Cassandra, uh, bin slash Cassandra. If I give, okay, it has this Cassandra file that it will run. Enter, then it will run. I think it is already running in the other one. It is stuck. Yeah, it has started running it. Okay, running the Cassandra database. It is giving something. So this will run it in a background. Okay, background as a background application. And if you wanted to kill this process, no, you cannot kill it. You cannot kill it from here. Okay, you have to find the uh, process ID and then kill it. So it is better rather than running like this. You run it in the foreground. Foreground means you can kill it. Okay, I will open here. Kill it means if you want to stop the Cassandra running, the server running, that you can stop it. So how you can run it as a foreground processes like bins. Foreground means you will have access to it. Okay, background means you remember in Windows there will be back. If you start, see, if you have installed WebEx, right, it will run automatically when you start the Windows. Okay, if you go see in the taskbars, many processes will be running, many applications or the processes will be running, all will be running in your background. Okay, that is used for your operating system to run it. Likewise, it is running in the background. So if I want to run it in the foreground so that I can stop it, -f is the option. Okay, bin slash Cassandra -f, that is foreground, then it will run in the foreground, then you can stop it. Okay, apart from that, there is we will see about a node tool. Tool, it is a tool. Okay, with that we will see the status of our node and information about our node. Okay. So this is running in foreground. I control C I give, it will come out of it. It is not coming out. Yeah, it will come out of it. Okay, control C, it will stop that process. Okay, uh, here it is already running one node, one Cassandra instance is already running. So now there is a node tool to check the status of your node. Okay, I will open in another terminal, and that node tool also will be in that bin directory. Bin, there is a node tool, this tool is there, no, that you can use it to check. It will support many commands. You can do many things with that, but now first, as a basic, we will see the status of your node. Okay, command not found, that is saying, okay, I'll go dot dot slash. I will run it like this. Okay, bin slash node tool. Okay, it is asking the options. Okay, it status I will give. Connection to localhost connection refused. It is stopped, I think. Okay, all are stopped. I will again start it. I have stopped the Cassandra process. So what I will do, I will start it again. -F. Then we can see the status of this node. Okay, Venkana Babu, as you were asking, no, like we have to set the bash RC for Cassandra. Since I have not set it, it is not understanding the path. It is not understanding. That is the reason every time I have to give bin slash node tool. Okay, if I would have set it in the bash RC file about the path, like our other applications, then you can directly give node tool bash RC. Say if I set it like for the Hadoop configuration or for the pick configuration and all, the home and the path, if you set it bin directory, then it will automatically take. Since I have not set it, I have to every time give bin, okay, to run that command. Okay, and now the process is started. Cassandra process is started. So what I will do, bin slash node tool status. Hope it will give. Yes, now it has given the status. Okay, it is saying it is only one data center. This node is present. Okay, and it is saying the status. Okay, the UNS is talking about the status. Okay, it is up and it is a normal node. It is not leaving or joining or moving node. It is a normal node. That's why the abbreviation UN. Address is a local host, so it is a local host, and the load it is going to take it. This token I will talk about. I told right that Cassandra nodes will form in a cluster, will be in a ring structure. Okay, so how many nodes can be present, that will be given in the token value. Each node will be given a token value in the ring, and that can be up to 256 tokens. Okay, that I will discuss later on with a picture or something. And how many space it has taken, that load it has not, this node has not taken any data, right? So it is saying 0 percentage. Host id, some id it is assigning for this node, and which rack it is present, rack 1. We don't have any other racks, so all the default things it is showing here. This is the node tool status of your node it gives. And there is one other thing, like you can also check the information. Okay, bin node tool info, info. If you click that, so it also talks about your gossip active. That gossip is like Sep, kindly mute. Okay, gossip about gossip I told, no, like if both two nodes are how they communicate through the gossip way, gossip protocol kind. Okay, that is true. If since it is true, then it means any other node can communicate with this node, and this node can communicate with other nodes likewise. And load data center information in detail it is giving. Okay, about counter cache chunks and all. Okay, that is all about this. And something like ring is there, that's what a token I'm talking. That I will, mean, I think it will be confusing. Okay, that we will see it later on. So if I just type node tool, just a moment. It's the- okay, node tool help commands, so you can use a status snapshot about the ring repair, all these things you can do it with this information help flush, all those things. Okay, we will see other things in detail a little more about the architecture, and also how do we create key spaces and all stuffs in the next class. Okay, so installation, keep it ready so that it will be helpful for working on with the Cassandra. Okay, till now any doubts you can ask me. Otherwise, the session is we can wind up the session.
Madam,
Yes.
my Linux Ubuntu show me some message like a pending update of Snap Store, Snap Close app.
You just ignore that,
Share
no?
that.
Yeah, share it. No, you don't do any updates now. What it will
Ma'am,
do? Yeah, yeah.
uh-huh.
What it will do? It will say if we have put a 20.01 no 02 that Ubuntu, then it will go and update it to 21 or 22 likewise. That is what it is.
Madam, but they show that 13 days left. So after
You share
13
it,
days,
no?
ma'am, I can share it with WhatsApp, ma'am. You
Ah,
just
okay, fine. It is fine. I mean, if it is going for an update by itself, you can leave it. Otherwise, if it is having an option saying update, you don't update it. It's okay. We can do an update using app to get. Okay, that update will update your uh, whatever the
version.
applications you wanted, not
Uh-huh.
the complete update of your OS itself. That is a Linux machine itself. If it is having an option later or never do it, don't do it. Now we don't do it. Later on, if you can
No,
experiment and check.
after 13 days or after the day left, what happened? The Ubuntu will be closed or what
No,
exactly
no,
happened?
nothing will happen. It will update. That's all. It will not do
It
anything.
automatically update.
Maybe
So what can I do for not updating that thing?
uh, it's okay if it is getting updated. It's fine, no problem because we are 21 will support with all applications, so it is fine. What updates
Okay,
it is doing, we don't know, right? Merely may not be that only OS update. Other updates also it will do. It is not much thing that you have to worry about it. If it is updating,
mhm.
it is fine. Let it update. Okay.
Okay, okay,
If
madam.
yeah. Okay. Anything else?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Yes,
Why
Ashish.
Cassandra? Yes, ma'am. Why Cassandra needs only the requirement of Java language, or or didn't take any other languages?
I think Cassandra is written in a Java. That is the reason you need Java to get installed, and you can write. I mean, you see, now I'm going to show only commands, right? It is also possible, right? You can write applications in your Java or code, or in your Python also. For that, you need to install the drivers for that specifically. Then you can write your program, whatever you are going to create the key space or retrieve data, insert data, everything you can write as a program, as an application, and interact with the Cassandra database and retrieve data. Okay, so why the Java version is done is Cassandra is written in. Check it once. You can also check because other Hadoop is completely written in Java. Okay, that's why we need Java because processes won't run. Cassandra
Okay,
is
ma'am.
also written in Java, I think.
Fine, ma'am.
Hmm. Yes, it is written in Java. All the applications, no, all big data applications mostly will be written in Java, and support will be given with the Python by installing some drivers or other stuffs. Apache, where you can use. Sorry, I'm not Apache. Spark, you can use a Spice Spark and all those things. Other applications are also supported. Other applications, other programming languages are also supported. Okay. Ma'am, Hadoop installation, please. Okay. I will check it, Venkat. I don't have time only. We'll check it, okay? Okay, you want to share your screen now? Okay, share it, no problem. Others can leave. You can, if you have any doubts, you can ask. Otherwise, you can leave. Okay. Java version spelling wrong. Version.
Ma'am, can you take over control, ma'am?
Okay, I will take control. Okay, Java version. What is the problem you are facing, Venkana Babu?
Hadoop installation, ma'am.
Hadoop installation. Did you make all the configurations or not?
No, ma'am.
User local. You have to do that, right? Okay, do everything and then tell me what is the problem. Okay. Other things I cannot do it. Yeah. You see, you have not created Hadoop folder. Okay, what you will do? You download, install it. The steps you follow it. Okay. Okay, Venkana Babu.
Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah, because a complete installation, it is easy only. What you have to do, you have to download it as per the steps you follow it. And if it is not happening, then tell me. Today you try it. So, did you finish your project? Did you send
Yes, ma'am.
us?
I
Okay,
finished
send
the
us the
project.
hard copy. Send us the hard copy. Amlan also send the hard copy. And your exam registration has started. You have to start the registration from today on. So, how do you do your exam registration? Okay, you have to complete it within this week. This okay, maybe till 15th you can take it. Not 15th. 15th we have to submit it actually. You finish it by 11th. Okay, so you have your user ID and login, right? Amlan and Venkana Babu. Using that you have to log in and you have to do your exam registration. Okay, I will message in the WhatsApp group what you have to do. So start exam registration. So then only you can write your exam on in the January. Okay, and for this installation you do completely. Okay, and download Hadoop, do the configuration settings and all. Try to bring it by your own. Okay,
I tried, ma'am. I tried it 2 3 times, but how to do? No one helped me, so that's why.
how
No.
to do? See, because if you didn't, if you're stuck after configuring, then I can help it out. Okay. Okay, Amal Venkana Babu, because this will take a lot of time. You do it, you don't delete it every anything, then show me where you are stuck, okay? Or you keep messaging me where you are stuck, I will see.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, today afternoon only you take this and do it.
Thank you.
Okay, okay, okay. Anything else? Then we can wind up the session. Thank you all. We'll meet tomorrow. Okay, you can unshare Venkana Babu.
Ma'am, control
Yes.
you.
Yes. Oh, I have the control. Okay.